Bempton Cliffs, a sheer wall of ancient chalk that rises 300 feet above the churning sea on England's east coast. Gulls scream above the waves. The wind never stops. It's a place of stunning natural beauty, and a place people go when they don't intend to come back. On a bitter morning in March 2010, a blue Renault Clio was found parked neatly in a car park at the cliff's edge. Paid up for the full day, empty, engine cold, its owner nowhere to be found. That car belonged to 18-year-old Russell Bohling. He was never seen again. Russell wasn't the sort of boy to just vanish. A bricklaying student at Bishop Burton College, he lived with his parents, Roger and Christine, in a quiet village just outside of Hull. By all accounts, he was a good lad. Kind, polite, quiet. Struggled a bit socially. A speech disorder made him vulnerable. But he did have things to look forward to. In fact, just days before he disappeared, Russell was buzzing with excitement. His father had promised him something extraordinary. A house and £300,000 in cash. But money changes things, doesn't it? Makes people talk, and sometimes it makes people disappear. March 2nd, 2010. Russell leaves the house around 8 o'clock in the morning. He tells his parents he's going to college, same as always. Nothing out of the ordinary. He looks slightly smarter than usual. A black Ben Sherman jacket, blue jeans, leather trainers. But Russell never makes it to Bishop Burton College that day. He never even turns up in the area. CCTV? Nothing. Witnesses? None. And at around 11:30 a.m, 45 miles away, his car appears at Bempton Cliffs, parked, empty, as if waiting for someone. The search was massive. Helicopters, divers, coast guards scaling the cliffs. They searched caves, scrubland. They even used sonar and heat-sensing drones. Nothing. No sign of Russell. And that's when things began to get strange. 3 days before Russell vanished, his father had a heart-to-heart with him. He told him about the future, about the house he'd soon inherit, and the life he could build. A house worth a small fortune and a cash sum totaling £300,000. It was meant to give Russell the independence he craved, a fresh start, a chance to run his own business. But was it a blessing or a curse? Russell's father feared someone close to his son, someone inside his tight-knit circle of friends, had found out about the inheritance, and maybe they wanted it for themselves. Russell wasn't the type to brag, but £300,000 is a hard secret to keep, especially when you're 18. Before ending up in Bempton, Russell's car had taken a strange route that morning. His sat-nav showed stops in York, Bridlington, and even Bradford. All unexplained, all out of character, none of them near his college. What was he doing? Who was he meeting, and why did it lead him to the cliff's edge? As the weeks dragged on and nobody turned up, the theories got darker, one of which stood out. 2 weeks before his disappearance, Russell had downloaded files about an old Cold War installation, RAF Bempton, a long-abandoned underground radar station, just a stone's throw from where his car was found. But Russell wasn't looking into military history. No, he was reading about what was inside. Erotic murals, occult symbols, graffiti etched by self-proclaimed Satanists in the 70s and 80s. One forum called it a subterranean witches' coven. Another spoke of black masses and raids by police. Was it just curiosity, a dare, or had someone invited Russell there? His father, Roger Bohling, came to believe his son may have entered the bunker that day and never came out. Perhaps he suffered a fatal asthma attack in the darkness, or perhaps something worse happened in those shadowy chambers. Whatever the truth is, Russell's body has never been found. No sightings, no calls, just a car, a cliff, and a boy swallowed by the unknown. And the story only gets darker from here. On the surface, it's just a crumbling shell, a disguised bungalow with a sealed-up chimney stack and graffiti-stained brick. You drive past it without giving it a second glance. But beneath the soil, buried in the chalk like a secret no one wants to remember, lies RAF Bempton, a Cold War relic, a place of shadows and silence. A place that in time would become the very heart of this mystery. Because 2 weeks before he vanished, Russell Bohling searched for it, downloaded maps, uploaded files, and asked questions. He wasn't the first person drawn to that place, but he might have been the last. Built during the Second World War, and later used by the RAF in the Cold War, Bempton was part of Britain's radar defence network. Officially, it shut down in 1961, but unofficially, its life was only just beginning. In the 1970s and 80s, the bunker took on a new identity. Urban explorers found the walls covered in murals. Erotic, explicit, surreal. Symbols linked to satanic rituals, black masses, demonic imagery, ritualistic fire damage. Some say there were police raids, arrests, but nothing was ever made public. It was all buried, forgotten, until Russell came looking. The files Russell downloaded weren't about military tactics or Cold War espionage. They were raw, hand-drawn maps, grainy images, forum posts, all centred on one thing: the underground chamber at Bempton and the disturbing art inside. Roger claims they appeared on Russell's memory stick mysteriously. Someone gave it to him, but who gave him these files? Where did they come from? Roger claims they appeared on Russell's memory stick mysteriously. Someone gave them to him. Someone wanted him to go there. But to what end? Roger Bohling believes something far darker had taken place. That Russell went into the bunker and died there. Not by suicide, not on purpose, possibly ambushed, maybe even trapped. And then, almost a year later, Roger admitted something deeply troubling. He had recorded Russell secretly, his own son talking about his life, his troubles, his struggles. He talked about feeling emotionally abused. He felt controlled, isolated. His only escape was through the internet. It painted a very different picture. A boy adrift, misunderstood, desperate for independence. Was Russell being groomed online? Had someone preyed on his loneliness? Was he being led, one click at a time, to a place of danger? Even years later, urban explorers talk about Bempton like it's cursed. But here's the thing, Russell went there in 2010, and if the entrances were already sealed in 2009, as some claim, how did he get inside? Did someone open it for him? Was he let in and never let out? No body has ever been found. Not in the sea, not in the caves, not in the bunker. There was no suicide notes. No evidence Russell was depressed. No money had been taken. No trace of the £300,000 inheritance was ever touched. And yet, at the inquest, almost a decade later, the coroner gave his verdict. I believe he died in the sea, but we don't know how Russell came to die. His parents rejected that entirely. They didn't believe he was on the cliffs. They believe he went underground. And whatever happened down there took their son from them. Russell was never seen again after March the 2nd, 2010. Okay, that's it for today's video. Like, subscribe, and stay curious. Thank you.